all I can do is play the whole. Right now, I don't have the music in front of me, and I can't remember the 6 individual parts by themselves to play them singly. So I'm going to just play the same thing again, but slower, okay? So actually, first I'll play it at speed, and then I'll play it slowly. So it's. Okay? At which point it goes into that. So I'm going to try and play that about 75% or maybe half as fast, okay? So it's. Okay? So let's go even slower. All right, so that's the basic idea. Now, the next part is where it breaks into the 8th note. Okay, so I'll play that. Okay, so there's nothing really hard in that. In fact, it's easier than playing. Okay? So basically, that's that part covered. So once you've got the 5 conquered with the quarter notes, playing it with the 8th notes is really not difficult. It's in fact way easier to play it because you don't have the restrictions of your right side playing quarter notes and your right foot playing faster notes. So the fastest you're playing is the same speed as your hand, which doesn't, for me, confuse my mind. Okay, so that leads in, of course, to the cowbell part. So now I'm going to change the camera angle and we'll do that part. Okay, so I promised you 5 parts, and there are 2 other really, really small parts, but they're typical, what I would call neologisms, as I told you before. Okay, so The first of those two remaining ones is when he just finishes the third cowbell part, where it goes doot 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 doot, and then it plays this again a couple times, and then it goes da da ba da ba 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 ba, and then it hits the crash, and then we go back on the hi-hat, and it's a little it's a little thing that he's done quite a few times. He his little bag of tricks that he calls it, his toolbox, so to speak. And basically all it is instead of playing this way on the hi-hat, he just opens it this way, leads with his right hand as he normally would in a 16th note, but he opens the hi-hat on the left hand, and then he quickly switches and plays two more hi-hats with his right hand. So it's like this. Okay, so instead of going, it's this. So the the fifth part is something that he did as far back as the first album in Best I Can, where it's basically okay, so it's a quad flam on the snare, quad flam on the snare and the hi-hat with an open, obviously, since your feet are open, and then a quad, same thing. It's okay, so that's basically that part. That's basically it for the trees. Thanks for sticking with me.